Okay, we'll start.
Yes, sir.
We will start with, so I'm putting you on recording.
Yes, sir.
So we will start with a lot of structure,
Okay.
but it will, based on your questions, it will move into a lack of structure.
Okay, sir.
The idea is ki, so let me start. We are taking your बैलगाड़ी and
Okay.
putting a car on top of it. अब बैलगाड़ी के भी चार पहिए होते हैं, कार के भी चार पहिए होते हैं.
Right.
So we don't have to change that.
Right.
Okay. So the process of transformation will be different. But a car has a steering wheel while a बैलगाड़ी has a, has a bullock cart or whatever. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
the process of transformation will be one step at a time. And since, the first rule of transformation is that you have to address the subconscious mind. You don't have to address the intelligent mind, the thinking mind. So you will get the feeling that you are able to understand what I'm saying, but it is going to progressively make you more and more uncomfortable.
Okay.
Too much of it will come at the same time.
Okay.
So pani peene ki tarah hai, you will, feel that you can't absorb or you can't remember, or if somebody else were to ask you, you liked whatever I said while I was saying it, but you are unable to implement it into practice.
Okay, sir.
So that is the difference between left brain education. Left brain education is just, a teacher who comes into a classroom and lectures you. You think you know, but, you barely sort of absorb 5% of it.
Okay.
In mentoring, we will convert it into your agenda, what you want to do.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And
yes,
it will get wound around. So there will be principles and there will be new thoughts and there will be new formulae and there will be new so-called facts and data, etc., etc. But we will wind it around your priorities. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
that we make sure that over a period of time, you are able to absorb and what we call internalize. Internalize means you're actually able to use the stuff that we are giving you rather than just listen intellectually. एक lecture में गए, कुछ अच्छी बातें लगी, impress होकर के आ गए, हाँ ठीक है, is good, ये वो वगैरह वगैरह, but it really doesn't do much for you because you cannot duplicate it.
Right.
Okay.
Yes,
so that's the difference. First lesson is that this is not teaching. This is, at least this is not classroom teaching.
Okay, sir.
This is mentoring where we have to ensure that you have learned it, because iske baad you have to go and jump into the water.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So talking about swimming does not do much for you.
Right.
Okay. We have to, put a life belt under you while you are learning swimming and things like that. Okay. We have to make sure that you understand the principles.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will start with, okay, we are driving a car. So let's go back to the bullock cart example. The car has a rear view mirror.
Right.
So you know your financial history.
Yes, sir.
Okay. First, we will point out the distortions in how you think about your financial history. Okay. First lesson is, are you aware of your balance sheet?
My personal balance sheets or the things that I handle, like family things?
Okay, good remark. The personal balance sheet is what belongs to you, is under your control and can be manipulated by you.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes,
the balance sheet that you control, where you are dealing with other people. Okay. That balance sheet is what we call your off balance sheet asset.
Okay.
So a doctor could be having his own house.
Right.
But the doctor, because he is friends with his patient, could be able to influence his patients also.
Correct.
So you may be running a business, let's say your father's business.
Right.
You can influence your father's business
to a good extent.
Okay. So good or bad, the point is it is an asset that you don't think about.
Right.
Follow?
Yes, sir.
So in balance sheet terms, kya karenge? You have an income of 100 rupees.
Right.
You have assets of 500 rupees. Okay?
Yes, sir.
But you can double those assets by simply talking to your father, who may have 5,000 rupees.
Right.
So what to you is 100% increase in your debt, in your asset. For your father is 10% of his asset.
Right.
Okay. So what
Yes,
is really your asset? Your ability to put your father, we'll explain all these things later. Your ability to put your father to a minor inconvenience. कि पापा मेरे को दो महीने के लिए पैसे चाहिए.
Right.
ठीक है बेटा, I generally trust what you're doing. I think you're intelligent. Or I think you're a fool. और मैं नहीं दे रहा, तुम जा करके घर को बर्बाद कर रहे हो. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So there are those kind of fathers also. I deal with them also. And there are fathers who say, "नहीं, I think you've grown up. जो भी कर रहे हो ठीक कर रहे हो."
Right.
तो ठीक है, I am willing to help.
Right.
अब ये हम इसको अलग अलग stages पे deal करते हैं. Number one, the typical individual thinks of himself as an asset, his own earnings.
Right.
Nothing else is an asset. तो आज तक तुमको ख्याल नहीं आया, अगर मैं पूछूं कि how much money do you have? So what will you point to? You will point to the money that is cash in the bank. You will take me literally. Okay. But
Yes,
you
sir.
will not answer the question where I said, how much money can you get within, let's say, a week?
Right.
So within a week, sir, I can get a loan from, the bank against my house. I can get a loan against the shares that I have.
Right.
I can borrow from my wife if you're married, etc.
Yes, sir.
So ये सब तुमने, you did not include all this in your answer.
Right.
So this is what we call tier 2 capital. इसको अपन we'll rename it. Tier 0 is the capital that we are going to put at risk.
Okay.
So suppose you are going to open a new business.
Okay.
Okay, let's call it for the time being investing.
Right.
So we have Ankush Investing, whatever, Limited.
Right.
Ankush Investing Limited. What is the first thing that goes on in your mind? How do I start investing? भैया 1 लाख रुपए चाहिए होगा.
Capital.
Capital.
Yes, sir.
But why should it be your money? So this whole mentoring period, exercise is about asking you very, very provocative questions and making you think in new directions.
Understanding, sir.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
therefore, when you say, okay, we set up Ankush Investing Limited, and what is the first thing that came to Ankush's mind? Okay, it will need capital.
Right.
It did not occur to you that capital can belong to somebody else.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what do you think of capital? Equity capital.
Right.
Okay. Why are you investing? So now start writing down the kind of provocative questions I'm asking.
Okay.
So these are the things. Obviously, this is now being recorded, so you can go over it again and you can take down those questions again. But each question is meant to open a new door, which you will think about, and you will continue that train of thought down that road.
Okay.
For example, I asked you one provocative question. Why can't you take a loan from your father?
Right.
We will see where your father fits in the whole tier of capital. So I'm teaching you right now what? Tiers of capital.
Yes, sir.
So I'm teaching you how to think about yourself and your own balance sheet.
Okay.
The first answer when I asked you how much money do you have, you went and thought about the money that was lying in the bank.
Right, sir.
Okay. उसके आगे नहीं सोचा. Okay, but against your stock portfolio, a bank can give you money.
Yes.
Against your house, a bank can give you money.
Right.
Your wife can give you money.
Yes.
Okay. Your father can give you money.
Yes.
Let's now take it even further. Now I don't want to stop. Now your neighbor can give you money.
Right.
your whatever people from your industry who know that you have been in this business for the last 20 years can give you money.
Right, sir.
So there, now if I ask you, how much money do you have? Is the answer going to be different?
Of course.
Okay. So this is what we call tiers of capital.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
remember the principle. People give money to people who don't need money.
Yes, sir. Experienced it.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, what is the asset that you need to maximize the total amount of balance sheet that you can have?
Okay.
What is the biggest thing that you need? You need people to want to give you money, but you don't need money.
Right.
Why is it very important for us to think that HDFC is a very solid bank? तो वहां पे पैसा अगर मेरा पड़ा है तो रात को नींद आती है.
Correct.
लेकिन अगर यस बैंक होता
हाँ.
तो मैं कल सुबह 10 बजे वहां पे पहुंच
लाइन में विड्रॉल करने के लिए. राइट सर.
ठीक है.
यस सर.
So therefore, what is it that you need? You need, so now let's get back to tiered capital thinking. Tier 0 is the money you're going to put into Ankush Investing Limited.
Okay.
But Ankush Investing Limited is a baby. It needs to be looked after.
Right.
Okay. Now you build tier 1 capital. Tier 1 capital is what? Tier 1 is the money that Ankush really has.
Okay.
Which he is willing to. Remember, money is of two things. One is the money that you have, and the money, the ability to cut a check, and the desire to cut a check.
Okay.
So very important for F&O trading. You will very often have the money, but not the desire to cut a check.
Okay.
Okay. Most
Yes,
of the
sir.
losses, many of the losses in the F&O market happen because, not because you've run out of money, but
Okay.
because you've run out of nerves. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So therefore tier 0 समझ में आ गया, tier 1 समझ में आ गया.
Yes, sir.
Tier 2 क्या है? Tier 2 is money from your own future. Money that you have not yet earned, but which you will earn over the next 12 months.
Okay, sir.
24 months, 36 months, 48 months, depends on your confidence.
Yes, sir.
जितना कम confidence होगा, नहीं सर मैं तो 3 ही महीने का की रिस्क लूंगा. ओके. संजीव पांड्या तो 5 साल की रिस्क ले लेता है. टाटा स्टील में 4 साल अंडर वाटर रह करके he makes money in the 5th year.
Yes, sir.
He does not lose confidence. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you might not have the same confidence. Okay. So right
Yes,
now we are not talking about the asset side. We are talking about the liability side. What is really is the balance sheet? The liability side of Ankush Investing Limited is the asset side of Ankush.
Right. Yes, sir.
You're with me on this so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what really is your money? I'm trying to expand that definition. Tier 2 is that. Tier 3 is the money against that the bank is willing to give you against your house. Tier 4 is the money that your wife and family or friends, family and relatives are willing to give you.
Yes.
Tier 5 is what your neighbors are willing, mohalle se jo mil jaye. Tier 6 would be, from your trades, etc. People who know you, business associates and etc. We call it structured finance. And tier 7 will be ki public at large.
Okay.
कि now you are HDFC bank, लोग अपनी life की savings आकर के आपको दे रहे हैं. So how far can you take it?
Till the last, sir. 6.
Huh?
6 tak, sir, pura.
No, I'm trying to open up your mind right now. You don't have to answer this question.
Okay, sir.
Because the answer could have been, नहीं sir, मेरे को तो कुछ समझ में नहीं आता. ये तो मेरे तो पापा मेरे को 2 थप्पड़ मारेंगे अगर पैसे मांग लिया. That answer is also acceptable.
Yes, sir.
That would have opened up a new discussion.
Right.
Reputation for knowing what you do.
Okay.
हर बाप अपने बेटे को बेवकूफ समझता है.
True.
Okay, even नरेंद्र मोदी के that कि है क्या, चाय वाला है.
सही है.
ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
So Therefore, there is nothing new about your father thinking that you're a fool.
Right.
But how do you build a reputation? Okay, so reputation is very, very important.
Okay.
And reputation, I'm now going to use corporate language, the reputation of a company. If I am Jindal Stainless Limited, तो मेरे को मेरा बैंक 2,500 करोड़ रुपए का ऑफ बैलेंस शीट डॉलर लाइन दे देगा.
हाँ.
Because they know that I am a serious steel manufacturer.
Right.
Okay, this is an actual example.
Example.
Okay, this has actually happened. So I use that.
Okay, sir.
I just need to have a reputation that I'm one of the best stainless steel companies in the world.
Right.
And then the money comes on its own.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So therefore, you have to now, Ankush Investing Limited now has to become a survivor of the F&O market.
Okay.
We already have a study by SEBI that says that the 1 year survival rate is 11% and the 2 year survival rate, this is my conclusion, that the 2 year survival rate is therefore 11% of 11%.
Right.
Which will be 1%.
Yes, sir.
2 साल के बाद तो कोई F&O में बचेगा नहीं.
Right.
और जो आदमी 2 साल बच गया वो फिर कभी मरेगा नहीं.
Right.
So therefore, the steady state survival rate in the F&O market should be in India 1%.
Right, sir.
Okay. I mean, globally, there are studies that say that this number is actually 3%.
Okay.
Okay. 3% is steady. You cannot change that number.
Right.
So the market is a wealth transfer mechanism from the 97% to the 3%. I'm going by the behavioral economic studies and not SEBI studies. Because India is an immature market and India ka 1% will grow to 3%.
Right.
Okay. और वो जो back balance 2% होंगे वो सारे मेरे बच्चे होंगे.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
So what, this is something that does not change. And this is a law embedded in nature. We'll get to those details later. You go and study all these things.
Yes, sir.
We call it the rule of excellence. कि कोई भी चीज में the winners, you've heard of the rule of 3 also, that 65% market share has to be, an industry is considered mature and very difficult to penetrate the moment the top 3 players account for 65% market share.
Okay.
Okay, for example, abhi aviation dekh lo. One guy has 60% market share.
Right.
You think it is easy to enter aviation just now?
No.
Okay, we are moving towards the same situation in steel.
Okay.
So today, steel mein, you cannot enter steel unless you have a 10 million ton per plant. 50,000 crore rupees lagega.
Right.
Okay, so industry is narrow. When the survivors will stay survived, okay, and the newcomers must learn survival.
Right.
So it's an uphill. It's like fighting a battle uphill.
Okay.
Because koi upar se is firing down on you.
Right.
Okay. So therefore, this is what we will try to do. We are entering an immature market, a gigantic market where millions of new people are coming in.
Right.
The market is going to expand many-fold, many times the GDP growth rate. Right. There will be enough space for those who know how to survive.
Right.
Unlike all those silly people who are, entering the market, it's very easy. We know that pani mein magarmach hai.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We know that the market is not a bed of roses. The market is a killing machine. Ye SEBI ki study, what is it trying to tell you? It is trying to explain to these kiddos कि boss, market koi, it's not a bed of roses.
Right.
Okay, it's a casino. और उसमें कोई survive नहीं करता है.
Yes, sir.
All those early riches जो 2020 में लोगों को मिली थी, वो सब गायब हो गई.
बराबर.
Okay, so now if you want to enter the market, you enter it with respect, with a sense of threat that I have to survive the market.
Right.
So ये तो तुमने मेरे पुराने lectures में सीख लिया होगा about Mr. Market. Mr. Market is not your friend.
Right, sir.
He is your friend, provided you know the enemy inside you. Okay,
Okay.
so what is Mr. Market? Mr. Market, now I'm going into high level psychology. Mr. Market is really your subconscious imperatives. जो तुम्हारे अंदर का जो भालू है उसकी जितनी भी वीकनेसेस हैं वो तुमको मिस्टर मार्केट में दिख जाएंगे. So Mr. Market wants a free lunch. Mr. Market does not like pain. Mr. Market does not like to pay the cost. Mr. Market को दारू पीना अच्छा लगता है. Mr. Market को घमंड करना अच्छा लगता है. जितनी भी वीकनेसेस, ह्यूमन वीकनेसेस हैं वो मिस्टर मार्केट में मिल जाएंगे.
Right.
So when are you going to be separate part of the 3%? When you rise above Mr. Market.
Right.
So what is it really? It is about locating the weaknesses of your subconscious. There's someone in my head and it is not me, and he is my enemy. Okay, so मेरे अंदर एक भालू है. He is stronger than me and I have to fight him.
Right.
So when everybody is running away from the market, I should be putting money into the market. Provided I understand why everybody is running away from the market.
Yes.
And I know why they are wrong. I better know why. So do you understand how this program will be different from the others? We will not talk about the what and the how.
Right, sir.
थोड़ा करेंगे. But we will explain the whys. Because कोई चीज तुमको तब तक नहीं समझ में आएगी जब तक you don't understand the why.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes.
What is it? Why is it so easy to lose money in markets? Because we think it is very easy to make money in markets.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So first you have to get rid of that.
Okay.
Okay. Now I will take you. So now let's get back. We start with your. Let's recap. So far अभी तक क्या-क्या चीजें बात की हैं? अभी तो मेरे को याद है. But remember, this is now going to lose structure and it is going to go round and round. Okay.
Yes, sir.
First thing that we did was we taught you how to think about Ankush.
Right.
Then we said Ankush का एक बच्चा है called Ankush Investment Limited.
Right.
Okay. That बच्चा has only one source of finance and that is Ankush.
Right.
Okay. So now we then increase the tiers of capital available to Ankush.
Right.
And we make sure, like going out to sea, we make sure that we do not take more risk than we are capable of.
Right.
So what are we capable of? उसको हम बैठ के calculate करें.
Right, sir.
वो जो capability है, that is not the money lying in Ankush's account. That we explained is very small, is tier 0.
Yes.
And we can go up to tier 7. So Ankush knows कि भाई अभी मैं समुंदर के सामने खड़ा हुआ. समुंदर, I am not drowning because समुंदर अभी 6 इंची का है और मेरी हाइट 6 फीट है.
Right.
बट अगर मैं चलता गया तो समुंदर तो 3.5 किलोमीटर का है और मेरी हाइट तो 6 फीट है. तो this ratio decides my risk. There is no such thing called absolute risk. As long as I am taking risk in proportion to my capability, I am going to be safe. That is what we call risk management. So for that, you need risk calculation.
Right.
And you need risk appetite. So
Yes.
you will write down on an Excel sheet, we will show it to you. You will write down your investment capability. That does not mean you're going to use it. Okay, but you should know it.
Right.
So that, because last mein kya hoga, in the middle of a panic, you will stop thinking. And you will, your subconscious, your bhalu will take over. When you stop thinking, you must have pre-thought कि तुम्हारी इन्वेस्टमेंट कैपेबिलिटी क्या है. क्योंकि उस समय इफ यू गो टू योर डैड कि डैड मैंने 50 लाख रुपए का नुकसान कर दिया, मेरे को 50 लाख और चाहिए. ओके. Nobody is going to help you.
Right.
So that you should be knowing कि डैड मैं 1 करोड़ रुपए की रिस्क ले रहा हूं, लेकिन मेरे पास 50 लाख है. अगर मेरे को जरूरत हुई, अगर तो आप मेरे को हेल्प करोगे कि नहीं? डैड बोलेंगे नहीं, तो ठीक है, मैं 1 करोड़ की रिस्क ही नहीं लूंगा।
Right.
अगर बोले नहीं मेरे से तो 10 ही लाख होगा, तो ठीक है, आई विल टेक अ रिस्क ऑफ 60 lakhs. This calibration is where most people lose money. They go in mindlessly,
हाँ.
and once in the water, अब इन द वाटर अगर मेरे को तुमको बचाना है और 3000 फुट नीचे तक की समुंदर है, तो
हाँ.
आई हैव टू कंसिडर कि तुम मेरे को भी डुबो दोगे कि नहीं.
Right.
So I am happy to help you when the samundar is 6 inches,
Right.
but I am not there when the samundar is 3 kilometers.
Yes.
Okay, so therefore, what do you have to do? You have to first calculate your balance sheet.
Okay.
First mistake that people make is they don't know how to calculate their balance sheet. So what did I just tell you? The tiered capital approach. There
Yes,
is
sir.
an uncertainty in that tiered capital. The further down you go, the more you go down to tier 4, tier 5, there is an uncertainty. The probability
Yes.
that your neighbor will lend you money when you are in trouble
Is
is
less.
much lower than the probability that your father will lend you money when you are in trouble.
True.
Is much lower than the probability that your wife will lend you money when you are in trouble. Is much lower than the probability that the bank will lend you money when it has your house.
Right.
So we will tier this. This is what we call the management accounting exercise.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the first lesson.
Yes, sir.
This we will dovetail with the risk-taking activity.
Okay.
Okay, so that is where your little bullock cart is going to fit into Mr. Jay Shroff's UPL.
Okay.
And you will, both of you will become the same thing.
Okay.
Okay, so that exercise we are calling management accounting.
Right.
That you now have, so let's introduce the other pieces of jargon. You have a cost of capital.
Right.
You have a risk appetite.
Right.
You have a cost of risk. Remember, risk is a conditional thing. You have a cost of volatility. Volatility क्या है? Volatility is not the same as risk.
Right.
Risk is the probability that you will go permanently bankrupt.
Right.
And volatility is the probability that you might need some money for a little bit of for a little while.
Right.
Okay, so we'll do this exercise now. Next lesson, we will like you're driving any car. We will first look at the rear view mirror.
Right.
Then we will look at the dashboard कि हम कहाँ हैं, where are we today, गाड़ी में तेल है भी कि नहीं, और गाड़ी किस स्पीड से चल रही है, अगर तेल नहीं है तो किस पे चलाना है, and what are my intentions. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
So that is the dashboard where you are currently. And then we will look at the windscreen कि आगे हमको क्या करना है.
Yes, sir.
So that whole thing is called a financial plan.
Okay.
Okay, so we
Yes, sir.
will start with that exercise. This is a template. So this is somebody else's data.
Okay.
You have to fill up your own data.
Okay,
so
sir.
I will do just a little bit for you, but I will stop in the middle.
Okay, sir.
So that you can continue. It's like, teaching you how to cycle.
Right, sir.
So पीछे से मैं पकड़ के रखा हुआ हूँ. You will, and while you are learning the ropes, and then we will take it forward.
Okay, sir.
So this will be multiple exercises. Okay. And, so let's put down numbers. They don't even have to be real numbers. Just put down some numbers.
Okay.
Okay. So what is your business income?
40-50 lakhs.
So 40 lakhs. Okay. Do you get any other passive income, rent or something?
No, sir.
Okay. Bank interest?
No.
Bank interest कुछ नहीं है?
नहीं, sir.
Okay. What about investment income?
This year around 20 lakhs, sir.
Okay, so this is going to be volatile, so we won't count.
Right, sir.
So we
Right,
won't count on it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So this year, 20 lakhs.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What have I taught you? What is this template forcing you to do? You do not live in the present. You now take the future.
Right, sir.
So what is your expected income? Do you expect to go bankrupt next year?
No.
Okay. So therefore, do you expect to grow next year?
Yes, sir.
So what growth rate do you think?
Sir, bare minimum of 25%.
25%. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
therefore, is it okay to say that next year you expect 50 lakhs?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then 62 lakhs.
Right, sir.
Then 78 lakhs.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
This is volatile income.
This is not, sir.
So this
Fixed.
has to be, we won't count on this.
Right, sir.
Okay.
Huh.
Bank interest, we won't count on.
Right.
So therefore, this year you have 60 lakhs.
Right.
Next year you have 50 lakhs.
Right.
Not counting investment income, remember?
Yes.
Okay, so this is your, I'll mail you this file. This is
Yes,
how
sir.
you play with yourself.
Right, sir.
Okay, we put it on a shared folder, and we will co-write this document.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so what if, and agar aise ho to aise ho, kaise ho to kaise ho, etc. Okay. Now what is the first objective we will have? We will try to maximize this
Right.
with minimal
Risk.
risk, and इसका एक target ले लो. Let's target 100% of current cash flow. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what is the target? Your 20 lakhs should be equal to 40 lakhs next year.
Right.
Okay. So
Yes,
20
sir.
lakhs you are doing yourself.
Yes, sir.
Without taking any risk. So therefore, there has to be a relationship between risk and reward.
Yes.
Now, this is your forecasted period, the period you want to manage. Uske
Right.
aage you don't know whether you'll fall ill ya kya hoga vagara vagara. You don't want to depend on that income.
Right.
Okay. So I'm not taking these decisions for you. You can change them any moment.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can say, "Arey, kya baat kar rahe ho, sir? I'm 30 years old. I have 20 years ahead of me. मैं तो 20 साल आगे की plan करूँ."
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, that translates into, so what have I done? I have taken this is the cash flow. So therefore, what am I saying? You have to manage, let's say 250 lakhs of flows.
Yes, sir.
This is the loan from your future. So
Right.
you are not just managing the 40 lakhs that is lying in your bank account or that you are earning right now. You are managing 2.5 crores.
Right.
Uska net present value aaj ke din turns out to be 237, even if I take the discounted value.
Okay.
So this is theoretically the loan which you can take from somebody who is willing to give you unlimited loan, provided you're taking this loan from your own future.
Right.
Okay, so what are we doing? We are trying to expand your balance sheet.
Right.
Okay, so you do this exercise. Then what are your expenses? ये भी भरना है. तो सबसे ज्यादा एक्सपेंस क्या है? टैक्स होगा.
Right.
कोई लोन्स अगर हैं तो डालने पड़ेंगे.
Right.
तो लोन्स हैं?
हाँ है ना सर.
अच्छा, लोन्स हैं तो ओके. टैक्सेस डाल दो, दैट विल बी अराउंड द सेम अमाउंट.
हाँ.
ठीक है.
यस सर.
ओके. बैंक ईएमआईज अभी कितने हैं?
Sir, obligations monthly is around 2.2 lakhs.
2.2 is 24 lakhs, 26 lakhs.
26.4.
2.2 into 12.
26.4.
ठीक है?
Yes,
This will continue in the future or they will taper off?
but they will taper off, sir.
So
It
next
should,
year,
it should be considerably done by 2027.
so
Most of it.
it will reduce to, let's say, how much? 20 lakhs?
So divide by 5, 4. It will reduce by 6 lakhs, sir.
By 6 lakhs. So 20 हो जाएगा.
20, 14, 8.
14,
8.
8. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Therefore, the savings that you are managing is this.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है?
हाँ.
So this is the flow which a bank can use to decide this. How much can you raise from the bank?
Right.
Remember, what is our intention? Our intention is not to take this as physical debt.
Right, sir.
Our intention is to get our budget. This is a budget document. To, you know, how much virtual debt are we capable of?
Right, sir.
वो virtual debt I will explain later.
Okay.
Okay. अभी के लिए, okay, any intention of any big capital expenditures?
In next 4 years, right?
Yeah.
A house, maybe.
A house. So therefore, उसमें कितना लगेगा?
1.5.
1.5, but will you buy it without debt or will you buy
There
it?
is a with debt, sir.
So with debt would mean with debt would mean about 5 lakhs.
5?
5 lakhs की किश्त होगी ना? कितने की होगी?
नहीं sir, नहीं. 1 lakh, sir.
नहीं,
1.5 is the total value. 1.5 crores. That
1.5 crores का मतलब okay, loan tenure कितना होगा?
20 years, sir.
20 years.
उसके लिए, sir, 1 is what the loan I'm looking at. 50 will be the capital that I put in.
So
right.
Therefore 12 lakhs per year.
Yes, sir. Correct.
So 12 will get okay.
Yes, sir.
So from your savings, you now have to reduce this amount.
Understood.
To know your net surplus available for investment.
Right, sir.
Uski NPV निकाल के you are going to come to this number.
Right.
यहाँ पे तो 150 तो आ ही रहा है.
हाँ.
Okay.
Yes.
And then, so once you complete this exercise,
right,
you will be capable of making your own balance sheet now.
Okay, sir.
So can you see how your profit and loss account is getting converted to a cash flow?
Yes, sir.
Through by incorporating all the balance sheet items that you can change, which is right, either fixed assets ले रहे हो या current assets में डाल रहे हो या कोई SIP commitment है या बैंक से funding ले सकते हो, etc. etc.
Yes.
Okay. इनमें कभी कोई cash flow mismatch हुआ तो this is the most important thing that I told you.
Yes, sir.
Invisible assets. Okay, this is what you call your off balance sheet assets. That in case of a cash flow mismatch, what all, where all can you raise money from?
Right.
ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Suppose you have some other housing, जो कि अभी free पड़ा हुआ है. You can get a loan against that from the bank.
Yes, sir.
So we've gone through that. Tier 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Right.
Okay. This is giving you your planned balance sheet. Remember, this is not your accounting balance sheet.
Right.
Okay. And this is your management accounting balance sheet.
Right.
And from here, you can make your own balance sheet.
Okay.
Okay. Now, a few important lessons. Some assets look like assets, but are actually liabilities.
Okay.
So remember, कि कहने को गाड़ी है accounting wise, उसको you are treating it like an asset, but actually it's a liability.
Right.
Okay. Same thing you can say sometimes of real estate.
Right.
So this is from Robert Kiyosaki. Some assets look like liabilities and some liabilities can be assets. We'll come to that.
Okay.
So abhi ke liye some assets look like can be liabilities.
Correct.
So therefore you put them in the right place, not in the accounting place. You put them in the, if there is a car, you have to maintain it.
Maintain it.
Okay. If there is a big house, you have to maintain it.
Right.
So just think of all of those.
Okay.
Okay. You think of children like an asset, but actually right now for the next 5 years, they are liabilities.
Correct.
Okay. So,
Yes.
so you put down all those into a planning document.
Okay.
Then we come to, okay, I have so and so assets. So this was done for a doctor.
Okay.
So there are some whatever numbers over.
Okay, sir.
Now, these assets can become, you can fund against that and you can raise liabilities against these assets.
Right.
Where will you put it? You will put it here. Can you see the interlinkages? But if you can raise from the bank,
that I understood, sir.
Against 1 crore, you
Right,
can
sir.
pay 75 lakhs, then that should go here.
Right. Yes, sir.
So this whole exercise, do you know how to do this whole exercise then?
Yes,
These
sir.
are all facts. Ye to, your cash shares and your how much you have in mutual funds, how much you have in bank deposits, what kind of real estate. This is all telling you where your debt capacity is.
Right, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
That debt capacity will now be used for your business operation. Now you are ready for an F&O operation.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Against this, you know what kind of virtual debt you can take.
Right.
The rule is you will not take virtual debt exceeding the physical debt that is available.
Correct.
Why? Because the market is so capricious. Ek din COVID mein, the market will raise its interest cost to 100%.
Right.
Okay. On that day, you should just simply take delivery. And the derivative market is telling you when to put in to take delivery. So the best way, and now I'm going high level, the best way to do an SIP is to find out when with a derivative position, do you have the maximum MTM.
Okay.
You don't sound convinced?
I am not that acquainted with derivatives. That's why I'm just trying to understand.
Fine. So derivatives is leverage.
Right.
Derivatives is virtual debt. Derivatives is when you have taken your portfolio of 100 rupees. Okay. Given NSE a lien against those shares. And NSE says that I am willing to finance you 400 rupees.
Right.
So 100 rupee, that is what you call trading against margin. 100 rupees ke shares hain. And 400 rupees ke key derivatives you are allowed.
Right.
Okay. So
yes,
the remaining 400 rupees is what? It is debt. Okay.
Yes.
If suppose the next day the stock drops, you bought stocks worth 500 rupees.
Right.
Next day the stock drops by 50 rupees.
Right.
Okay. Now you have to put in 50 rupees.
Yes, add margin, right?
Okay. So what is it? You have to add margin. Why? Because the loan that NSE is willing to give you is based on the market price of the share.
Right, sir.
So they have changed their mind because the market has changed their mind.
Right.
Okay. So therefore, the debt has to be covered by stand by equity. Very
Correct.
important line. So you should assume that one day I will have to take full delivery.
Okay.
So up to 400 rupees, NSE might demand from me.
Right.
Okay. So you
Yes,
should
sir.
have. Now, can you see the link between your tiered capital
Yes, sir.
and the virtual debt budget that you have?
Right, sir.
This is one of the biggest secrets of F&O survival. That what looks like debt should not be debt.
Okay.
क्यों? क्योंकि मार्केट उल्टा कर रहा है. It
हाँ.
tells you कि 500 रुपए का माल आपका 1000 रुपए का हो जाएगा.
Right.
आप खरीदते हो कि 500 रुपए मेरे को फ्री में मिलेगा किसी और के पैसे पे.
Right.
So I will earn 500 rupees on my 100 rupees of margin.
Right.
So I am going to be very rich tomorrow.
Right.
So the market fools you into believing that. And then reality turns out to be कि market आपसे कहता है 200 रुपए.
लेके.
So this is, in behavioral terms, this is the charade. जहां कैसीनो आपसे कह रहा है कि हम आपको फ्री में पैसा देंगे, but actually आप पैसा छोड़ करके जा रहे हैं.
Correct.
So before going to the casino, if you have told yourself that I am probably going to lose money,
right,
then if it turns out that you don't lose money, what has happened? 97% of the people have lost money.
Right.
And that money is distributed among 3%.
Right.
So the market is not a place where you go to make money. The market is a place where you go to survive.
Okay.
The 3% is a default.
Right.
Okay, that is the default earnings of the losses of the 97%. So now we have a SEBI study which says that the market loses 55,000 crores per year.
Yes.
Okay, it has calculated. It's there. Just look it up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that 55,000 crores is available to anybody who survives F&O.
Right.
It's not that you are going to make 100 times your money. You might. But there is a lot of things you have to learn before you get to that 55,000 crore profit pool. Who are those people who are making that money?
The 3%.
The 3%. So this mentoring program is about getting you into the 3%.
Understood, sir.
Okay. When do you get into the 3%? जब आपके पास समुद्र में जाने के पहले या तो आपके पास ऐसा लाइफ जैकेट है that you are not you cannot be drowned,
right,
or you are so tall
that you cannot drown,
that your legs are so long that you are taller than the sea.
Right.
So we will take the second approach. We will make sure that on a given day, our tier 6, tier 7 capital tak hum survive kar sakte hain.
Yes, sir.
So that is the business. There are two sides to the business. One is obviously making sure that you don't lose money.
Right.
So we'll make it more complicated in the next session.
Yes, sir.
But right now, I'm just giving you a hint of what it is like.
Okay.
Okay. So all this money, where are you putting it in? You are putting it into, अब जाकर के मेरा UPL का presentation देख लो.
हाँ.
I am arguing that UPL 612 रुपए पे है.
हाँ.
You are getting a company worth a market cap of 45,000 crores, 46,000 crores. Okay.
हाँ.
And UPL is going to make 12,000 crores EBITDA. It means that you are getting it at 4 times EBITDA.
Right.
100 divided by 4 is 25% expected return. This is called the cost. This is what for you is the cost of capital.
Right.
Okay. So you are going to earn 25%. Because UPL is going to stay like this, it is going to keep reinvesting in the same business.
Right.
And keep growing.
Right.
Okay. And I am saying, remember, this is a very important thing. UPL's debt is 0. This is a very important point. The accounting statements are showing that UPL's debt is 17,000 crores.
Right. Yes, sir.
So you've seen my notes on that. Why I'm
Yes.
saying that the UPL debt has to be ignored.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's a different story. But at the end of this, what are we doing? We are trying to compress a discounted cash flow. Okay. Where
Yes, sir.
we are saying that the expected return on this asset is 25%.
Right.
So therefore, UPL in 3 years will be earning 25,000 crores.
Right.
25% compounding.
Huh.
I expect to get, so my current valuation is that I'm buying UPL at 2 times of that times EBITDA.
Right.
So can you see how this Excel sheet is important? It
Yes,
forces you to not react. आज UPL की प्राइस नीचे हो गई,
हाँ.
लेकिन आपने तो 2,000-2,500 रुपए की चीज खरीद रखी है, आज की प्राइस क्यों देख रहे हो?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it forces you to remember why you bought the stock in the first place.
Right.
You have bought the stock because you think it is going to earn 25,000. Because you think ये 8 times EBITDA पे चला जाएगा.
Right.
Why 8 times EBITDA? Because pharma companies are going at 10 to 12 times EBITDA. And all of UPL's peers are at 10 to 12 times EBITDA. And UPL, an agrochemicals company, is very much like a pharma. That's a long story. That is part of the UPL story.
Okay.
So all that, we are assuming that all that is understood.
Okay.
Once you understand all that, what is your target?
2,600.
So you are buying something. This is what we call the intrinsic value of the company.
Okay.
Now you are buying something that is 2,600 rupees. Take a certain time frame, X, 2 years, 3 years,
3 years,
5 years, जो भी number है.
Yes.
अब you are not going to lose sight of that. अब
Okay.
market जब आपको छकाएगा,
हाँ.
तो you have to survive till then.
Right.
Okay. तो समुंदर के उस पार 2,500 रुपए की वैल्यू है.
Right.
बट कल के दिन मार्केट 600 रुपए के स्टॉक को 590 कर देगा.
Correct.
So that is what you have to survive. How do you survive? That is when, so this turns into a cash flow planning document. Follow?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Cash flow plan कहां से आ रहा है? Ability आ रही है यहां से.
Right.
और कहां लग रहा है वो आ रहा है यहां से.
Right.
What are we doing? The cost in the virtual debt market, just take it as a given, is about 6%.
Okay.
Okay. Our return is 25%.
Right.
So what are we doing? Ankush Investing Limited has turned into a banker.
Right.
वो 6% पे borrow करता है.
हाँ.
और 25% पे lend करता है.
Right.
And because he never makes a mistake, his NPA ratio is 0.
Right.
बैंक भी क्या करता है? NIM 4% कमाता है.
Right.
HDFC क्या करता है? NIM 4% कमाता है.
Yes, sir.
NPA 1.5% उड़ाता है.
Right.
ठीक है. और बाकी वही प्रॉफिट है.
Right.
Okay. So basically the cost of this, of operating in the derivative market, which is a lending, which is a leverage market,
right,
you have to monitor 2 things: your cost of funds. Suppose this 6%, I'm able to bring it down to 0.
Right.
ITC mein I brought it down to -4%.
Okay.
We'll go into all those stories.
Yes, sir.
You have been there on my groups, so you know.
Yes, sir.
Why am I never over 5 years? Why am I never wrong?
Yes, sir.
Okay, why? Because the cost of carry is brought down to 0.
Yes.
बाकी कंपनी मेरे लिए कर रही है.
Right.
कंपनी को अगर मैंने 6 times EBITDA, 3 times EBITDA, 5 times EBITDA पे अगर खरीदा हुआ है, तो 20% तो कर ही रही है ना. If it has good corporate governance, then that 20% is getting reinvested back at that rate.
Yes, sir.
If you remember Tata Steel, we were talking about buying it at 0.6, 0.8 times book value.
Yes, sir.
The peak was 2.2 times book value. Today it is at 1.3 times book value.
Right, sir.
And book value has been going up by 13% per annum.
Right.
So इसको discounted cash flow में डालो और देखो. Now, if I was holding Tata Steel at 0.6 times book value with zero holding cost, I have put in only 25% of the money.
Right.
So अगर मैंने 400 रुपए पे खरीदा है तो मेरा लगा तो 100 रुपए.
Right.
और मैंने बेचा 1200 रुपए.
Right.
तो मेरा बना कितना? 800 रुपए डिवाइडेड बाय 100.
Right.
तो 800%.
Yes, sir.
तो फिर गलत क्या है? ये जिंदगी में 3 बार करोगे एंड यू आर 100 टाइम्स योर मनी.
Right.
फॉलो. तो ये
Yes,
जो
sir.
लोग जो क्लेम कर रहे हैं उसमें झूठ क्या है? झूठ ये है कि बीच में क्या होने वाला है आपसे, बीच में कौन सा मगरमच्छ मिलेगा.
राइट सर. उस पे आप क्या करोगे?
समुद्र के उस पार तो आपको वॉट एवर थियोरेटिकली यूपीएल के केस में तो ये इन्फिनिटी बन रहा है, बट एनीवे वी विल डू दैट एक्सरसाइज.
यस सर.
ओके. व्हाट यू हैव टू डू इज कि यू हैव टू फोकस ऑन दिस 6%.
राइट.
25% तो अनसर्टेन है, कब
बराबर.
मिलेगा? समझो 3 साल बाद मिलेगा.
यस सर.
आज का ये 6% इंक्लूडिंग द एमटीएम. सो आई हैव टू कॉस्ट्स, the rollover cost and the potential MTM, the value at risk.
Right.
तो उसके बीच में मेरे को वो जो फंडिंग जो करनी है उसके लिए do I have the money, number one, which comes from here.
Right.
And last, do I have the confidence?
Right.
You may have the money,
right,
but you may not have the confidence.
Correct.
अभी एक न्यूज आइटम आएगा कि यूपीएल में सब चोर है, फ्रॉड हो गया, ये भाग गया, वो भाग गया. ओके. यूरोप में सारे प्रोडक्ट्स बैन हो गए.
राइट.
एंड यू विल बी रनिंग टू द एग्जिट.
राइट.
Why? Because you believe when you have no opinion of your own, you will believe the fraud on TV.
Right.
And that is what his job is. His job is first to coax you into buying and then to panic you into selling. That is Mr. Market.
Right.
That is how he makes money. When
Right.
do you make money? When you don't buy when he tells you to buy.
Right.
And you buy when he is panicking everybody else.
Correct.
So then what are you doing? You're riding the back of the alligator.
Right.
Okay. So this
Yes.
is an argument with the market. Warren Buffett has talked a lot about it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That argument of the market is what we call fundamental analysis.
That we call?
This is what we call fundamental analysis. You better know your stock.
Right.
Okay. So that
Yes,
you
sir.
are not shaken by the
Right.
noise that surrounds the stock.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is what this can be done. This is what is called investing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this is what is called trading. Managing your cash flow. And
Right.
doing the same thing on other people's money, but making sure that you have managed two of those costs. One is the cost of carriage, which is what we call, the rollover cost.
Right.
And two is the potential risk, which has to be funded. The value at risk, the
Right.
potential MTM, which
Right.
NSE will turn up every day saying कि इतना पैसे भरो.
Right.
If you get these two things right, and you debit yourself the daily interest on
Right.
this, because पूरा पैसा तो लगा नहीं ना.
बराबर.
400 रुपए तुमने लोन लिया, उसके बाद कैश तुम्हारा इक्विटी क्या लगा? इक्विटी तुम्हारा कभी 10 रुपए लगा एक दिन के लिए, फिर 5 रुपए लगा, फिर 15 रुपए लगा, फिर थोड़े से पैसे मिल गए, फिर 10 रुपए लग गया, and so on and so forth. So how do you calculate the cost of capital? You debit yourself daily interest cost at your expected return.
Right.
Understood so far?
Yes, sir.
So this is what we will do. That
Okay.
daily interest, you are managing the cost of capital.
Right.
You are expecting how much? You are expecting 25%.
Right.
If we can bring that cost of capital down to 1%, 2%. Sometimes I brought it down to minus. Okay, I get paid. So this is the Berkshire Hathaway model.
Right.
that basically he doesn't care कि Coca-Cola क्या कर रहा है या American Express क्या कर रहा है या Apple क्या कर रहा है. He basically says that I get paid to borrow money.
Right.
Now, who is the fool who is lending him at negative cost of interest? That fool is one monolithic Mr. Market. It is different people who are doing different things, which is uncoordinated.
Right.
Okay, Ukraine में war हो गई. Ukraine is an agricultural country. UPL is an agri company. UPL is down 40%.
Understood.
UPL का sales जब बैठ करके देखो तो UPL का 1% sales is to Ukraine.
Right.
लेकिन stock is down 40%. Okay. तो ये कौन बेच रहा है? जिस आदमी को ये मेहनत नहीं करनी है कि यूक्रेन में यूपीएल कितना माल बेचता है.
Yes.
So what is it? It's a knowledge function.
Right.
Okay. So that guy deserves to lose money and you deserve to make money.
Right.
Because you have taken the trouble to find out what UPL sales to Ukraine are.
Yes, sir.
Follow? So this argument with Mr. Market is what we can do in cash shares also. This is not yet leverage. इसमें 100 रुपए लगाओ और तुमको 150, 200, 400 रुपए जो भी मिलेगा मिलेगा.
Right.
Okay. So that is what we call buy and hold. I'm buying the business. I am taking the business risk. The company better do well. If the company does well, maybe the market will wake up to it and I will make money.
Make money.
Here in derivatives, what happens? The company doesn't have to do well. भारती 2009 में 320 का था.
Right.
2019 में भी उतना था. But I had a strategy where I could have made 150 times my money just by recovering my risk.
Okay.
Was it possible to project in 2009 कि 2G scam होगा?
नहीं.
So business risk. Is it a good idea to predict business risk?
No.
It is always a good idea to manage it by the free lunch that a mad Mr. Market is willing to give you.
Okay.
So that is the story in F&O.
Okay.
That Mr. Market is mad. He gives you money. You need to be smart. If you are also mad, then you can't make money.
Right.
So this is about locating the madness of Mr. Market and not being mad yourself. That is not easy because तुम्हारा जो madman है वो अंदर बैठा हुआ है. He's stronger than you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is your subconscious.
Correct.
The bear in your head. So the human in your head can talk like this. He can make an Excel sheet. He can do an NPV. He can calculate his debt capacity. You know, all of this is being done by your prefrontal cortex.
Right.
The intelligent part of your brain. But जब पापा डांटेंगे, अरे 50 लाख रुपए डुबो दिया, बेटा मेरा बर्बाद कर दिया, और your wife will say, जो भी मतलब तुम्हारे पीछे पड़ी हुई है, उस समय to say no, I'm right.
Right.
Takes courage. And a lot of people don't have it.
Right.
Okay. So the emotional training that is needed in derivatives is very, very difficult. Remember, the subconscious does not learn until you have repeated 70 times.
Okay.
So that is the problem with education. Why education fails? I can talk to you as much as I want. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. I'm teaching you swimming. लेकिन जब पानी में कूद करके जब पानी पीना शुरू करते हो ना, उस समय पता चलता है कि ये सर जो कह रहे थे कि हाथ मारते रहो, पांव चलाते रहो, उस समय तो बचाओ छोड़ करके और कुछ सोचता ही नहीं है. Follow?
Yes, sir.
So it is not just mathematical training, it is also emotional training.
Correct.
And the emotional training is what nobody teaches you, only the market teaches you.
Right.
And what? Losses teach you. एक बार मार खाओगे, ओके, उसके बाद से कान पकड़ोगे कि ये मैं कभी नहीं करूं.
Right.
Okay. So we will try to make sure कि losses ऐसे हो कि टांग टूटे लेकिन गर्दन न टूटे.
Right.
What do you wish for your child? कि जाके फुटबॉल खेलो. ठीक है, कुछ खरोच वरोच लगेगी, एक आध दो स्टिचेस आएंगे, कोई बात.
Right.
लेकिन मेरा बच्चा तो बड़ा हो रहा है.
Right.
Okay, so this journey is कि समुद्र में डूब मत जा.
Right, sir.
घर बार मत बेच देना. Okay, that is
Yes,
what is
sir.
happening today.
Getting it, sir.
Okay, that journey will be with a life jacket called Sanjeev Pandya.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will be a good person to have जब पानी पी रहे हो.
Okay.
Okay, that is when you better know your UPL.
Right.
You better know your Tata Steel.
Right.
Okay, you better have your intrinsic value tables. See, it will get very, very complicated. अभी तो सब मैं हाथी घोड़े की भाषा में सिखा रहा हूँ.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all of these things can be converted into a math.
Okay.
Nothing needs to be left to the imagination.
Yes, sir.
Right down to the last thing कि हमने stock को एक particular तरीके से choose किया. We did a discounted cash flow, and I have summarized the discounted cash flow for you into an EBITDA multiple.
Right.
Okay. Now, when I move from here to what is the market doing? जो चीज हमने 5 साल के लिए की, market is trying to do over the next 3 days. Predict the value of UPL. Predict the value of UPL on the expiry date.
Right.
Within 1 month.
Right.
तो वो क्या है? We are saying that UPL is actually a bond. मैं 100 रुपए आज लगा रहा हूँ, 5 साल बाद मेरे को कितने 400 रुपए मिलेंगे.
Right.
612 रुपए मैं आज लगा रहा हूँ, and 2663 मेरे को मिलेगा.
Right.
Okay, so I am going to 100 rupees I'm putting down, and 400 rupees I will get.
Right.
Okay, plus मेरे को कुछ dividend मिलेगा, कुछ time value capture मिलेगा, वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह.
Right.
So how is it different from a bond? Provided I have 100% confidence that UPL will do what it is supposed to do.
Correct.
It is a bond, no? With a current yield, which is my current income from the stock.
Right.
Which is what? Dividend from that the company pays me, and a very missing piece, the time value that I can get from the stock. We'll come to that.
Yes.
कि वो इतना बड़ा हो कि I don't need the 2,600 rupees.
Okay.
कि अगर उसमें मेरे को 150 रुपए अगर मिल रहा है, तो मेरा कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल 600 रुपए मैंने लगाया और 150 रुपए तो मैंने टाइम वैल्यू से कमा लिया.
Right.
So that is a dividend yield. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what have I taught you? I have taught you how to convert an equity into a bond.
Right, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
now
sir.
you look at bond trading. कि अगर वो बॉन्ड 100 रुपए की चीज मेरे को 70 रुपए पे मिल रही, तो 7 रुपए तो अंडरलाइंग ब्याज ही मिल रहा है. Follow?
Right. Yes, sir.
My cost of capital is 7 rupees I'm getting on 70 rupees. So 10%. My cost 10%. Of capital is 6%.
Right.
So I am meeting my cost of capital with just the current yield.
Right.
Now ये 70 रुपए के ऊपर 50% मेरे को 2 साल बाद मिलेगा.
Right.
Which is called the YTM yield on the bond.
Okay.
So this is how you have to think of derivatives.
Okay.
Why did I introduce bonds? Because a bond is the leveraging instrument, and derivatives is leverage.
Right.
Conceptually, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
A majority of it.
Okay. Now, maybe if I were to ask you to teach this to a 3-year-old, you would fail.
Right.
कि सुनते वक्त सब कुछ अच्छा लगा, लेकिन याद कुछ नहीं.
Right, sir.
आज अगर मैं ये एक्सेल शीट हटा दूं, तो to make it again, you will leave out a lot of things.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
So this we will stop here and leave you with the rest of this exercise.
Okay, sir.
I'll mail this template to you. Remember, अभी तक जो बड़े-बड़े lessons हमने सीखे हैं by teaching lots of other people, we are capturing over here. ये हमारे
sir.
These are the attitudes. In सब में गहरी philosophy.
Okay, sir.
Okay, these are the attitudes which you must learn. There is a gap between your attitudes and the facts. What you do will not be what you think you are doing. Why?
Okay.
What you think you are doing comes from your logical brain.
Right.
What you are actually doing, तुमने calculate कर लिया value at risk to your last crore.
Right.
Okay. अब वो stock वहीं पे पहुंच गया.
हाँ.
अब तुम्हारे पास you have only 10 lakh rupees lying in the bank.
Right.
Can you cut the check? तुम्हारी
Okay.
बीवी बोलेगी ये बच्चों की पढ़ाई के पैसे हैं.
समझ गया.
So should you be providing only for that, or should you be providing कि कोई बात नहीं अगले महीने फिर से कमा लूं? So what is the rule? Money cannot be, check cannot be cut, risk cannot be taken from a corpus. Risk
Right.
has to be taken from a cash flow.
Right.
So
Getting
ठीक है, मैं 50 लाख रुपए बैंक से लोन ले लूंगा, कोई बात नहीं, 6 महीने में वापस कर दूंगा.
Right, sir.
वो तो ठीक है. लेकिन 50 लाख अपने मकान को बेच करके ले रहे.
Right. Right.
बोले कि बच्चों की पढ़ाई के पैसे थे भाई. So remember, what we say logically is not what we say emotionally.
Right, sir.
Okay, these
Yes.
are the important. The journey is important, not
Right,
for the maths that I will teach or the Excel that I will teach,
Right, sir.
but for the emotional lessons that you will learn on the way. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I'm stopping share and let's wind up right now. Any questions?
Not, sir. I'll revisit all of this again, and the
हाँ,
next time
any
we have
first reaction? Any first reaction? पहले तो अपनी शक्ल दिखाओ.
Just a second. Am I visible? Sir,
Yeah,
namaste. Jai Jindra.
yeah.
Kaise ho, sir?
Bas.
So very glad that you accepted my request.
No, that's okay. But have you understood what the relationship is going to be like? And
Yes, sir.
So it is like stepping into the water together.
Right, sir.
We will calibrate the depth. There is a math to it on both sides. What is happening to the company? What is happening to the price discovery? Remember, this is very different from what is happening to the company. What
Right.
is happening to the company is not what is happening to the stock.
Right,
Why?
sir.
Because there's a madman in between.
There's no direct link nexus, sir.
Right, Mr. Market.
Yes,
Okay?
sir.
There are loads of frauds and cheats and God knows what all preventing you from getting to the other side.
Right, sir.
Okay, so we'll have to negotiate that. So market manipulations is a very, very big part of the understanding that we have. Okay, so
Okay,
this is
sir.
on the asset side.
Right,
Then
sir.
we come to the liability side. That's subject to the asset side. What is your capability? You make that's the source of a lot of your mistakes. When you
Right.
start getting this right, you get so arrogant that you forget your capability.
Right, sir.
कि अब तो मेरे को करोड़ रुपए दिन का कमा. ठीक है,
Getting it,
जॉब
sir.
करके लैम्बोर्गिनी खरीदी, etc etc.
Right, sir.
बहुत देखा है. I've seen people make a lot of money,
Okay.
but lose it all. I'm not from the kind of people who lose money on in the beginning. Okay, so you will
Okay.
make money. The
Right, sir.
problem is when you think I am God. Okay, I've
Getting
seen
it, sir.
the corporate sector. अरे क्या है यार, तुम तो किसी से भी निकल सकते हो.
Okay.
अब तो सांप को पता है. हाँ, 1300 करोड़ की कंपनी के नेटवर्थ पे 6000 करोड़ की रिस्क लेने को तैयार है.
अच्छा.
Why? Because Sanjeev Pandya is God, yeah. He doesn't lose money.
Right, sir.
The biggest threat in life is not making money. It is what happens to you after you have made money.
You make money, right, sir?
Okay, so that, wisdom
Right, sir.
needs an old man
Right, sir.
who has seen thousands of crores
Okay.
blown up. We are not going into all that. But
Yes, sir.
those lessons will be critical as you go up the learning curve.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let's do now. Now you go through this. I'll mail you the Excel sheet.
Yes,
You
sir.
go through this,
Yes,
and
sir.
then we'll start the journey. छोटे से
Okay.
1 लाख 2 लाख से शुरू करेंगे. Don't worry.
No, sir, I am not उसके लिए चिंतित. It's more about learning and just love your enthusiasm throughout, sir.
चलो. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
चलो.
Yes.